Hey guys, it's Lori. So, have you noticed that a lot of people have a really hard time with communication? I know with the clients that I talk to, communication seems to be one of the areas where people seem to really struggle. So, I just wanted to talk about it a little bit today and how, I think we all know how important it is. It's important in friendship, it's important in, parent child. Which is another video I'm going to do. Dealing with children, especially gifted children. I was thinking about it today. It's like it really needs to be put out there. But anyway, communication. Okay, and this is the final part of the 10-week, too. We're going to deal with communication because you know what? You could have a plethora of information. You could have all kinds of knowledge. You could have tremendous feelings. If your communication is skewed, you're not going to get that across. And a little problem could become a major problem, or something that doesn't necessarily have to be a problem at all could become a major issue. Sometimes you never get your point across. Now, of course, you could be an excellent communicator and you're still going to deal with people that are not. So that's part of learning how to communicate as well. I'm going to go grab myself a cup of coffee and I will be right back. Okay, communication. First of all, your soul wounds can get in the way you communicate. If you have a soul wound of worried about abandonment, you may always be talking about, or careful of what you say or putting things out there about that person walking away from you. Or you may say and do things to prevent that person from walking away from you, which will actually backfire on you. So be authentic, be yourself, okay? Also, be kind. If you have a soul wound of unworthiness, you are prone, you're vulnerable to place yourself beneath others, even if you don't mean to. It may be natural to do that. So you will communicate in that way. And people like that, the predators out there, seem to be drawn to you. They know where you are. And they also know how to communicate with you to make you feel, to validate that soul wound, to make you feel like you are less than. So remember, you're not better than anybody, and you're not lower than anybody. I don't care how much. Sorry about that. A warning came up. I keep getting them on my phone. I'll show it to you what it is. I'll show that to you. Isn't that interesting how it came up right at that time? But anyway, you're not better than anybody. You're not lower than anybody. So I don't care how much money you have or don't. I don't care what your health is like or not. I don't care how much knowledge you have, how much college education you have, blah, blah, blah. You're not better and you're not lower. Some people are in more of a power position. Some people have been more blessed as far as worldly goods. But we're all people. We're all in this together. We're all kind of struggling through this thing we called life, and everybody has their issues. With the shift in energy, as I said before, people are having a really hard time hiding the negative aspects of themselves. Not from everybody. It seems like some people are still walking around blind, but those people that are awakening, there's been recent shifts that are just making it virtually impossible for people to hide who they are. So pay attention. Don't choose to walk around in a fog because it makes life easier and more pleasant. Okay? It's very painful. It's very painful, especially if you see somebody that you love and care about and they tend to show you something. Sometimes I need to be pounded over the head. Not because I'm stupid. Well, some people might disagree, but because I don't, I make excuses for people. Somebody could basically beat me down and beat me down and beat me down. And I'm going to keep going back. Well, I'm I'm an empath. I'm able to get inside them and see how they're feeling in that. So I disregard a lot of times the negative and um, end up paying for it later. I did that with the man I married. Um, that's why people with narcissistic personality disorder end up with empaths. You know, because you look beyond what's right there in front of your face, and you look to potential. You look to um, um, the you see the good, and you look to that. You hope to bring it out, and sometimes it does come out. I know when I was married, absolutely, it came to the surface. He was kind and giving and more generous, I think, than ever. When once we split, my goodness, the evil man came right to the surface. When I look back on it, there was a lot of times that, he wasn't all that good to me when I was deeply, madly, truly in love either. But whatever, that's ancient history. So anyway, know that about yourself. You're not lower. You're not higher. Somebody may have more of a power position. They may have more connections. They may have more. If somebody has more knowledge or more wisdom, listen to them. It doesn't make them better than you, but it makes them more knowledgeable than you or more wise than you, and maybe you could learn a few things from them. Okay, but first of all, we're on equal ground. Just know that. So don't let your soul wounds get in the way. The other thing is don't project onto other people. Now, other people, not everybody thinks the same, okay? That's a big one that a lot of people get messed up with is not everybody thinks like you do. People say a big one. He or she doesn't, how could they love me if they don't come home every night and sit and watch a movie? How could they love me if they don't understand that I need blah, blah, blah? That one is like a pet peeve of mine because we can't automatically jump to he or she doesn't love me. It would be more accurate to say he or she does not love me the way that I need to be loved, the way that I want to be loved. I'm not going to invalidate their feelings. I can't say what they feel. So I'm not going to invalidate their feelings, but I'm just going to say they can't love me the way that I need to be loved or I choose to be loved. So it's not for me. Okay? And a lot of times when I'm telling clients that kind of thing, they don't understand what I'm saying. That's all it is. I'm not saying you deserve to be treated like that. You should accept that kind of love if that's not what you want or need. But don't make a blanket statement like that person doesn't love me, okay? Maybe they do love you, but maybe they just don't love you the way that you need to be loved, the way that anybody needs to be loved. Maybe they're not capable of it. But you can't presume to know what that person is feeling, okay? There's kind of rules, first of all, to, the fair fighting rules, but they go along with any kind of communication. No name calling. Don't name call people. It's not right. Don't call people names. Don't call out their vulnerabilities. Now, say somebody is trusted you with a secret. Just because you're angry or you're in an argument, don't reveal that or don't use that against them. Like, say that something happened in the past that they're very ashamed of or something that hurt them deeply or whatever. Don't bring that up. That's not fair. They trusted you with this secret. Don't bring it up. That makes you an awful person. No name calling, because as soon as you start calling somebody names, that's what they hear. They don't hear what you have to say, so you have just invalidated everything you have to say. Listen. Okay, so other than the rules, and be kind, okay, be kind. Does it need to be said? Not every thought that goes through your mind needs to be said. You could say, I'm just trying to be honest. I don't want any lies. Gotcha. Honesty is good. It's perfect. It's great. Something that isn't necessarily needed to know is not necessarily a lie of omission if you don't say it. I mean, I'm not saying, don't tell your husband that you just spent $1,000. That's not what I mean. That would be a lie of omission. But if it's something that it would be hurtful to that person and it's not a need to know, don't say it. They don't need to know it. Why are you hurting them? If it's not a need to know. And that's, I guess, a individual play it by ear kind of thing. If you got lost in a daydream about your ex, you don't really want your ex. You don't know why you had that daydream. You don't have to tell your overly sensitive husband or wife about this when they already have inferior complex with this person. Why? Just to be hurtful? You know what I'm saying? So honesty is good. You don't have to speak every thought that goes through your mind. Kindness, does it need to be said? Is it going to be helpful if I say it? Is it going to be helpful to the person I'm talking to or myself? Go over those things before you just say something. Self-centered people tend to use honesty as like an excuse. Well, I was just trying to be honest, as they proceed to say very hurtful things. You don't need to say that. This is gonna, no, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because somebody hurt me recently. Actually, she hurt me several times over the course of our friendship. And she'd probably say, just being honest, but the things that she said were just so painful to me. And I know she wouldn't purposely hurt me, but she did hurt me. So, okay, listening is very important. Listen to what a person says to you. So many times somebody else, especially when you're first dating someone or if you're in a relationship with them and you want it to be a certain way, regardless if you're lovers or if you're married or if you're, whatever the relationship is. And the person will say, blah, 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 blah. And you go, yeah, but. No, listen to what they're saying. Okay, yes, people talk in other ways too. They talk in action and stuff, but listen to what they're saying. Take their words at value. Now, remember, women tend to read more into what is said. They also speak that way. They communicate that way. So they may say this, but they really mean this, right? So they expect men especially to realize this, even some women. Put it this way. Expect everyone, whether they're, a really good communicator and they go beyond or not, but expect everyone to take your words at face value, okay? So many people will say something like, don't ever contact me again, meaning I'm hurt and angry because you haven't been calling me, so I want you to call me. But instead they say, don't ever call me again. Because it's the ego, the pride that gets in the way, right? And that person on the other end, if they don't ever call again because they're taking you at face value at what you said, they're taking your words and heeding your words, then they go, well, maybe he or she doesn't care about me because they never called me again. Expect everyone to take your words at face value and consider that before speaking them. Okay, listen to what the person is saying to you. Listen to them. Take the time, not just listening so that you can speak next no, really listen. Really listen to what they're saying. Listen with an open heart, an open mind, and compassion. Even if they're saying something you don't like, it's valuable. Listen. It could prevent a lot of problems, okay? And you know what? If somebody says something and you go, yeah, that doesn't feel right to me, I don't think they truly feel that way. I think they're pulling one of those, don't ever call me again when they really want me to call. Speak up and say, okay, I hear what you're saying to me is this. That's a perfect way, if you're unsure, to get that person to clarify. I hear what you're saying to me as this. This is what I'm hearing. and you say what you heard. Is that correct? And is that really how you feel? Because I kind of thought you meant you wanted me to call. I'm just asking. You know, don't say it in a sarcastic, condescending way, but just say it. And that is perfect in any situation. If you're unclear, is to actually repeat what you heard and ask the person to clarify it if you're unsure. Okay? So don't expect people to read your mind. Don't expect people to just know what you want. That's manipulative. You know? It's really manipulative. Speak what you need. Speak your truth. Don't play games. Speak your truth. You know? Speak it with compassion and kindness. So many people are not compassionate and kind. No name calling, like I said. Know who you're talking to. That's part of listening too. People that are very arrogant, deceitful, narcissistic, on power trips, people that you really don't want to have anything to do with. And I know some people want to believe that everybody's good, but there are some people that you must look at and say, I refuse to engage with this person. And it's because some people are impossible. Used to be they were few and far between. I don't know about that anymore. For instance, there's this woman, I'm not going to name any names, but she got all up in arms. She thought I said to her one day, she came chasing us out of the house. There were 3 of us in the car, and she came chasing us out. And one of us, her daughter, yelled out, you're effing crazy or something like that. Well, the next time somebody talked to her, she kept saying, I don't appreciate being called crazy and this and that. I wasn't really sure what she was talking about, because I didn't even hear her daughter say that to her. But I guess she did, because her daughter said she did. But this woman thought I said it. So she kept saying stuff like that. I really didn't know what she was talking about. And then it came out that she thought it was me, and when it was told to her that it wasn't me, she's like, no, it was her, whatever. So she's all up in arms for like 2 weeks about me calling her this name. And then that same day, the next time I saw her, she went off calling me all kinds of names. What'd she call me? A whack job and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, I won't engage with this person. I did say one sentence to her in the whole time that I've known her, and that was, I'm not going there with you. Or I'm not doing this with you, or something along those lines. That's it. There are certain people I will not engage with because they're not worth my energy. Why am I going to do that if the exchange is only going to be upsetting, if it's not going to accomplish anything? It's not somebody I want in my life, and I refuse to engage. So I had, know your boundaries, right? Know your boundaries. Don't project what you want onto other people. And another thing, and narcissists or egomaniacs or self-centered people do this too. Don't tell somebody how they feel or what they think or whatever. Even people that aren't narcissistic do this sometimes until they learn, how to communicate. But always speak in the first person. I'm upset because, I'm happy because, I feel this way because, I wish we could blah, blah, blah. Not, you don't ever spend time with me. A better way to say that would be, I'd really love to spend more time with you. You don't love me. I'm feeling unloved. Okay, see the difference? Because if I say, you don't love me, immediately that person goes on the defense. Whether they do or don't, they're on the defense. You don't care. You only want things your way. You're doing this just to manipulate me. Well, chances are people are saying that. They're the manipulators. But first of all, don't tell me how I feel. Don't tell me what I'm doing. You're projecting onto me what you're thinking, most likely. Okay? Even some people that aren't, that's like a narcissist and stuff, but even people that aren't, they make that mistake of, you make me feel, it's always putting the other person on the defense. You don't want to do that. You want to get your feelings across in a way that is healthy. I would like to talk to you with those dreaded words, every married man is like, we need to talk. Yeah! No, make it about you. Always in the first person. Um, I'm feeling lonely. I would like to see you more. Although I understand you're busy, I'd sure love to see you more. I'd sure love it if you called me every day. Instead of, you don't care, you don't call me, you don't want to talk to me. Um, you only want things your way. This is about you. It's not about, whatever. Right there, you're telling the person how they feel, don't do that. Don't, you will create a defensive, that person, becoming defensive, and your conversation is going nowhere. Okay? Even if you're calling somebody out on something they've done, I've discovered this. Back your stuff up, you know? So basically, be kind, speak your truth, don't beat around the bush, don't manipulate. Nobody likes to be manipulated. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated. If you feel manipulated, disengage. Don't engage with people that are unhealthy. As much as is possible, the Bible says as much as possible, keep the peace. That's true. Be kind. Be compassionate. Don't start trouble. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with disengaging with someone. Some people, most people, you can work it out. Some people are impossible. They have no interest in working it out. They don't want to. They're all about the drama. They're always right. They will never take a look in the mirror. Those people, just disengage. If possible, disengage. And if it's not possible to disengage spiritually, emotionally, disengage. Don't let it bother you. Put a protective shield around yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't give it any energy. It's not worth it. If that person has no interest in changing, and there are people out there like that, fortunately, I was going to say the majority's not like it, but there are quite a few, unfortunately. And like I said, with the mask coming off, it can be very painful. But just admit the truth, Be the best person you can be. And, know what you want. That way you won't flip-flop so much. All right, I hope this helped a little bit, and I'm going longer than I had hoped to go. I'm going to do a live. Somebody had suggested this to me, and you tell me what you think. Just in answering questions, some guidance, whatever. I'll go live and answer your questions right that way. Give you a little bit, and see how it goes from there. Sorry about my doggy. What are you barking about, baby? Bam! Where are you? What are you barking at? It's really cold out, and I'll show you. It snowed yesterday quite a bit. Now we're supposed to go into like a deep freeze. Great! Perfect. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. I hope you have a great day. Bye. It's snowing. I just wanted to show y'all it's a snow day here. It's not too bad, but it is snowing pretty hard. I don't know if the video is picking that up. I got it in vintage mode. I'm going to change that in a minute. But I wanted to show you, we don't have too much accumulation, but, yeah, it's a snow day. I don't know if you can see the flakes coming down. I'm going to change the vintage mode.